Good day, everyone. Welcome to our Inclusive Education Workshop. So in today's session, we will delve into the world of diversity. We will uncover strategies in handling differences among learners through our fun activities and connection with our minds. Okay, but before we start, allow me to introduce myself. I am lovely LUMANTAN, your speaker for today. I am a teacher in the elementary level and I also graduated from Cebu Technological University. Okay, now before we formally start our session, I want to know you a little better. So let me begin. Before I started to pursue my teaching career, I prepared two important things. Those are my personal philosophy and mission statement as a teacher. So my personal philosophy and mission statement is to create a student-centered, tech-driven learning environment that fosters critical thinking and adaptability to inspire students to become lifelong learners, responsible digital citizens, and innovative thinkers. Why is that? Because we are going to be teaching the new generation. And as we all know, in this ever-changing world, they're exposed or they're using technology. That's why I want to integrate in my classroom, of course, technology and inclusivity. So now I want you to share your own personal teaching philosophy and mission statement. So our question, what is your personal teaching philosophy and mission statement? So you have there a piece of paper in your seats and you're going to jot down your personal teaching philosophy and mission statement. So it is very important for us to begin with this so that it will serve as our guide in our teaching career. So when you become teachers in the future, you will know where you are going or what you want to happen in your classroom. Okay, so I will give you 1 minute to prepare or to think about what is your philosophy and or mission statement as a teacher. Okay? Okay, your time is up. Are you done? Yes. All right, now let's have a moment of sharing. So I want to ask a few volunteers to read what they have written in their papers, what are their philosophy and their mission statement. Okay, shall we start? Who wants to go first? Okay.
Good morning. So my personal teaching philosophy, I believe that education is a transformative process that should inspire curiosity, critical thinking, and the love of learning. As well as my mission statement is to inspire and empower individuals to reach their fullest potential through inclusive, student-centered learning experiences that foster critical thinking, creativity, and a lifelong passion for discovery.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's give her a round of applause. Okay, who wants to go next?
Me, ma'am.
Okay, please, miss.
So my personal teaching philosophy is focusing on understanding and holding people's potential at a young age. And my mission statement is to become a responsible and a passionate professional teacher, and also to apply my dynamic approach in teaching students by providing a supportive, engaging, and inclusive learning environment. And lastly, to bring out and hone the great potential of my pupils at a young age that will guide them in their future life.
Yes, it is very important to have an inclusive classroom, so we will talk about that later on. Okay, how about you, miss? You want to go next?
So good morning everyone. So my personal teaching philosophy is centered around fostering a supportive and inclusive classroom where every child feels valued and empowered to explore their interests. I believe that learning should be an engaging and interactive process where students are encouraged to think critically and to have collaboration. And also my mission statement is to inspire creativity and a love for learning in every student by creating a positive and inclusive classroom environment that respects individuals' differences and encourage just lifelong growth. And also, I am committed to making our classroom a place where every student can succeed and enjoy learning. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Every classroom should be a great place for opportunities and success for every student. How about you, Miss? What is your philosophy?
So, good morning, ma'am. So, as a teacher, I want to create a safe and welcoming space where students feel empowered to learn and grow. And I believe that every student has the potential to succeed. And I strive to provide them with the tools and support that they need to reach their full potential. So my goal is to foster a love of learning and to help students develop into confident, responsible individuals. And in addition, my mission is to inspire a love of learning in every student, empowering them to reach their full potential and become confident, as what I have said earlier in my teaching philosophy, and also responsible individuals ready to make a positive impact on the world. That's all, ma'am.
Alright, that's a very nice goal to have. That's a very nice goal for our future generation. Very good. How about the person at the back? Can you share your thoughts?
Good morning, ma'am. So, my personal teaching philosophy is it has likely been developed over time through hand-on teaching experience, education, observation, and research. And also, my mission statement is to encourage my students to be the best version of themselves and achieve their full potential. That's all.
Thank you so much. What about the lady in beige?
Okay, so good morning, everybody. As a teacher, I believe that every student has the potential to learn and grow in a supportive, engaging, and inclusive environment. So my goal as a teacher is to create a safe space where students feel valued, respected, and empowered to express their thoughts and ideas. And also my mission statement is to create an inclusive environment that embrace diversity and prepare students for their future success. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, how about the next person?
So good morning, everyone. My personal philosophy of education is rooted in the belief that critical thinking is not merely a cognitive skill, but a fundamental life skill. I see the classroom as a place where learners are inspired to examine their assumptions and cultivate their unique ways of thinking. So I believe that every student possesses the potential to become a critical thinker. And my role as a teacher is to cultivate this potential by providing a supportive environment. So my mission as a teacher is to cultivate critical thinkers by fostering intellectual curiosity, promoting a culture of inquiry, and encouraging students to engage with complex ideas. That will be all. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your idea, for your mission statement. How about the last volunteer?
So good morning, everyone. So as a teacher, I believe that gratitude and positivity are essential in creating a supportive and encouraging learning environment. So by maintaining a positive outlook and practicing gratitude, I aim to inspire my students to appreciate their educational journey regardless of the challenges they face. So this approach helps me build a classroom atmosphere where my students feel valued, motivated, and eager to learn. In addition, my mission statement is to prioritize healthy living, which I see as a crucial not only for myself, but also for my students. By leading a balanced life and practicing self-care, I can better manage the demands of teaching and demonstrate to my students the importance of holistic well-being. That will be all, as I thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So a healthy body also means a healthy mind. Alright, thank you so much for your wonderful personal philosophy and mission statement. So I hope that when you go to the teaching field, when you go to your own classroom, you will apply these statements, these goals that you set today. Okay, thank you so much. Now, how do these teaching philosophies and mission statements align with the role of a teacher in shaping the learning environment? So, anyone who wants to answer? If you can have only one, okay?
Yes, me. Alright, so earlier I mentioned my personal philosophy and my mission statement. This statement really aligns with my role as a teacher in shaping the learning environment, and in a way that my personal teaching philosophy creates a supportive learning, inclusive and engaging learning environment. And also it gives importance and teachers teach students need their different skills and talents. And also, moreover, my mission statement is centered on motivation, inclusivity, and individual attention, holistic development, and adaptability. And in my mission, so this is crucial for maintaining the students' enthusiasm and creativity, right? And this also fosters a sense of belonging and equity in the classroom, especially in applying those inclusive strategies in order for students feel welcome, feel accepted, regardless of their abilities and moving on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so as I said earlier, our philosophies and our mission statement will serve as our guide in shaping our learners. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to our next activity. So we are going to have an activity. So you into two groups. So this will be group 1 and this will be group 2. You are going to demonstrate a good and bad learning environment. So it's up to you. You do your brainstorming with your group. How are you going to demonstrate a bad classroom situation and a good classroom situation? So group 1 will demonstrate the good classroom situation, and then group 2 will demonstrate the bad. Okay, so you can now start brainstorming. I will give you 3 minutes to prepare. Alright, your time is up. I hope everyone is ready. Reminders to watch and observe each role play as I will be asking questions later on. May I call on the first group to present demonstrating a good learning environment.
Good morning, class. Good morning, teacher. Okay, so for today's class, we will be learning about the Earth's layer. So we will have the time to take a look at this video for a while. Whoa!
Hello, friends. Today, we're talking about the layers of the Earth. The Earth is made of 4 layers: the crust, the mantle,
Can you see how the
core,
layers
and the
are
outer
arranged?
core.
Yes.
Some of the layers have even more layers inside them, and they're all
the
this
way
neat.
to the
Come on,
inner core.
let's start from the outside and move our way in. Whoa!
Start to observe.
Crust. The crust is the thin outer layer of the Earth where we all live. The crust varies from around 3 to 5 miles thick in the ocean floor to around 25 miles thick on land. Earth's crust is found on the outer surface, and it is made of solid rock and minerals. Mantle. The next layer. The next layer of the Earth is the mantle. The mantle is thicker than the crust at almost 1,900 miles deep and makes up about 85% of the Earth's weight. It is solid rock, but not completely hard. Amazing. The mantle is made up of slightly different silicate rocks with more iron and magnesium. Tectonic plates. The tectonic plates are a combination of the outer mantle and the crust. These plates move very slowly, about a couple of inches per year. The place where the plates touch each other is known as the fault. When the plates move and the boundaries bump up against each other, it may cause an earthquake. Whoa! Outer core. The Earth's outer core is made up of hot nickel, iron, and nickel, and is about 1,400 miles thick. Too thick. The outer core creates something called a magnetic field and makes a protective barrier around the Earth that shields us from the sun's destructive solar wind. That's cool. Now, the inner core. The Earth's inner core is made up of solid iron and nickel and is about 1,500 miles thick. That's too hot, and unbelievably, it's as hot as the sun's surface, around 9,000 to 13,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you know a lot about the layers of the Earth. Please drop a like, leave a comment, share the videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Our app, Learning Junction, is available on Play Store.
Okay, so any observations from the video? And wow, it's so nice to see layers like that.
I love picture there, so we have rock and dirt, and this video makes it so much easier to understand.
Exactly, this helps us picture what's happening beneath our feet. But that's not all. They also have here an interactive app on our project. So here, I don't like the picture. Give it to her. So you can explore each of the layer yourself. You can zoom it in and even learn fun facts. Okay, let's try and zoom it in. For a close picture. Can I see? Look at picture. It's so nice. Very good job.
Wow, this is so nice, teacher. Look at it. Oh my gosh.
How about you, lady?
Mine is the greatest.
Okay, so yes, since we have explored the layers of the Earth a bit, I want to hear your thoughts. Angel, can you tell me why you think Earth's crust is so important?
I think teacher, because this is where the living things exist like that. This is where the plants grow, where we live. It is right.
Correct, Angel. So, any other head?
Teacher. And also teacher, the crust protects us from the hot mantle and the core beneath it. So it's feel like a shield teacher.
Very good, Joy. So, you both are right. Earth's crust is so essential for life, and it acts as a barrier between us and the intense heat of deep layers. So now, I will group you into two groups, group 1 and then group 2. So each group will work together to create a model of Earth's layers using the materials I have provided a while ago. So you need to think about the thickness of each layer and their composition and any unique features of each layer. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
And you have 30 minutes to do it. Your time starts now.
Okay, teacher. Wait, let's.
Look, I made it.
Yes, we should use this red balls because this one is
Do it silently.
Okay, teacher.
I think
You have 5 minutes left.
Smallest, right?
Yes, and you can use this green
Red one to the board.
Alright, time is up. Pass your work. is that? Is that your question?
I hear teacher.
That's our work teacher. Okay, very good. This is a very nice work. This is from group 1.
Yes,
Okay, very good, group 1. Okay, so before we finish up class, let's turn our knowledge into a game. So I will ask questions about the layers of the earth. So whoever answers correctly gets a point. Ready? Ready! Okay, first question. Which layer of the earth is the hottest? Which layer of the earth is the hottest? Yes, Angel. Layer 4? Correct. That's 1 point for Angel. Next question. Which layer of the earth do we live on? Which layer of the earth do we live on? Yes, Joy? The crust, teacher. Very good. Correct. That's 1 point also for Mary Joy. So the crust is the layer of the earth where we live, and it's the outermost layer of the earth. Very good, Joy. So let's give ourselves a round of applause, class.
Alright, well done, first group. Thank you so much. Now, let's see what the group 2 have prepared. Now, let's call on the next presenter demonstrating a bad learning environment.
A typical elementary classroom, teacher GAKO is standing at the board explaining a math problem.
Alright, good morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
Please be seated.
Thank you, teacher.
Now, who can tell me what was our last lesson yesterday?
Me, teacher.
Yes, Aya.
It's all about the project, teacher.
Thank you, Miss Assistant. Now, our topic for today is about addition. Now, good morning, teacher. Good morning, classmates. I'm sorry I'm late. May I come in?
Yes, you may. And please sit down.
Good morning, lovely. Where are you late?
I slept late last night, teacher.
Please be seated.
Thank you, teacher.
Now, for our lesson for today. Share again.
What a lucky day! Lovely, you have to come early so you can get early chair.
You should have come earlier if you have been late.
I don't like this
She
chair.
does not murmuring and focus. Hey class, please pay attention. Now, lovely, could you maybe not lean back on the chair?
Okay, teacher.
Alright. So our lesson for today is about addition.
It's your favorite.
Class! No eating in my class. Okay. So in adding numbers, we have here and 7. I have 100 of this and a half. Okay, enough, please. Can you please stay quiet? Why are you laughing?
What is going on here?
Now, we're just learning about math.
Lovely, eating is forbidden during in class. Too late. Principal is already empty. Students, is that the right attitude? Laughing and eating in the class? Okay, good to know. But next time, pay respect for your teacher when she is talking. And no more eating if the class is not yet done. Understood? Okay, say sorry to your teacher. Sorry, teacher. We will not do it again.
Thank you, Principal EMACTAO. Thank you so much.
Alright, excellent work everyone. You've really come up with captivating and realistic demonstrations. So now, for your question, based on your observation on our role play a while ago, what are the factors that affect the learning in both classroom situations? Okay, Let's start from the good classroom situation. Okay, what are the factors that you've observed? Yes, Joy?
Can use this one.
Okay. So, good morning once again. So, as I can see in the first scenario, Ms. Navarro uses different strategies to make her lesson both interactive and informative. So, by integrating technology, hands-on activity, and games, she made her lesson more engaging while also ensuring that her students fully understood the content. So this combination of teaching materials and active interaction creates an environment that supports students' development and success.
Alright, very good. Thank you so much, Joy, for your insight. What about the bad classroom environment? Okay, lady, share your thoughts.
Okay, good morning once again. So, a non-conducive learning environment is due to disruptive behavior of students, such as eating, laughing, and chatting during the lesson, which distracts students from learning. Another is that the ineffective classroom management by the teacher, the poor sitting, and the lack of respect for authority from the students to the teacher contribute to the problem. That's all.
Right, so you really need to come up with great strategies and practices for your classroom to be an organized class. Alright, so for the main highlight of this workshop, we will now move on to our discussion for today's session. So our agenda, so we'll have an overview of learner diversity, and then we'll talk about strategies for addressing the needs of learners with abilities, giftedness, and talents. Okay, and we'll also have a short activity or a question and answer portion, and then that would be the last part of our workshop. Alright, so now, okay, so the overview of learner diversity. So what is diversity? So diversity is composed of a lot of differences or a group of differences. So in our discussion, we will tackle the learners with learning disabilities, gifted and talented learners. So it doesn't mean that you're different, that you already have disabilities. So some are different because they are gifted or they are talented. We're going to learn about that by watching this recorded discussion about our inclusive learning environment. Okay? Watch this video to learn about learner diversity in an inclusive classroom. Okay?
What are learning disabilities? So, first, these are genetic and or neurobiological factors affecting brain functioning. This means that learning disabilities can be influenced by genetic and neurobiological factors that impact how the brain processes information. So, these factors can affect brain development and function, leading to difficulties in learning and cognitive tasks. And also, this can be interference with learning basic skills such as reading, writing, math, and many more. So, due to altered cognitive processes. So this means that learning disabilities often disrupt the ability to acquire basic academic skills such as reading, writing, and math. So this interference is caused by differences in cognitive processes such as how the brain interprets and organizes information.
So now let's talk about the types of learning disorder or disabilities. So the first on the list we have the dyscalculia. So the dyscalculia is a diagnosis used to describe learning difficulties related to math concepts. So in simple terms, it is a learning disorder with numbers. So, what do kids with dyscalculia commonly suffer or struggle with? So, for younger age, they will have a hard time recognizing the numbers or arranging them upwards. Like, let's say, for example, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, and so on, they tend to mix up these numbers like 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, and then back to 4. So that is an example of the dyscalculia.
So the dysgraphia. So dysgraphia, it is a neurological condition that affects writing skills for age and ability. So a student with dysgraphia might struggle with writing tasks due to difficulties with handwriting. So for example, a 10-year-old student named Jane has trouble forming letters neatly and consistently. So then I will be able to ask them to write a paragraph about their favorite books. And then while Jane's handwriting is often hard to read and they might misspell several words. So as a facilitator, I will be able to give Jane offer extra time. Like I will give Jane a additional time to finish her writing task and reduce pressure.
So the next type of learning disorder or disability is dyslexia. So what is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a learning disorder that affects reading and language skills. So dyslexia, again, it is a learning disability that primarily affects reading. So people with dyslexia might have trouble recognizing letters and sounds, sounding out words, and even understand what they read. So this can make it difficult to learn to read, write, and spell. It can affect people of all ages and backgrounds, and there is no cure. However, with the proper support and strategies, people with dyslexia can overcome challenges and achieve success.
Alright, so now let's move on to non-verbal learning disabilities. So this refers to the challenges with specific non-verbal skills. So this is the certain non-verbal skills that make it hard for individuals to interpret non-verbal cues like body language, facial expressions, or spatial awareness. So this includes motor skills. So these are the individuals struggles with coordination or fine motor tasks like handwriting or sports. So next we have visual spatial skills. So these are the individuals who have difficulties in understanding spatial relationships, such as judging distances or reading maps. So next we have social skills. So these are the individuals who have trouble interpreting social cues like tone of voice, gestures, and body language, leading to misunderstanding in social interactions.
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or what we call ADHD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by symptoms of inattention, hyperactivity, impulsivity, and emotional dysregulation. So in short, ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects a person's ability to focus, control impulses, and manage emotions. So for example, imagine a kid who has trouble sitting still in class and always gets distracted. So they might talk a lot, blurt out answers before being called on, and forget their homework. So this kid might have ADHD, which means their brain works a little differently, making it hard to focus, control impulses, and manage emotions. So that would be all about the ADHD.
Next types of learning disorder is autism spectrum disorder or ESD. ESD is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects social interaction and communication. For example, student A having a ESD, she have a problems in communication. So they use hand gestures instead of the words, or also they develops language slowly or not at all. And also in social interaction, student A prefers to be alone rather than with others because having a ESD or autism spectrum disorder, they are very sensitive in sight, hearing, touch, smell, or taste.
The seventh is the dyspraxia. It is a brain-based motor disorder that affects fine and gross motor skills, motor planning, and coordination. So, in other words, it is a learning disability with coordination or movements. So, the difference between the fine and the gross motor skills are, so the fine motor skills, when we talk about fine motor skills, it works smaller muscles. Like, for example, cutting, painting, and holding a pencil. And for gross motor skills, it works bigger or large muscles. Let's say, for example, jumping, running, walking, and cycling. So those are the examples of gross motor skills. So if you have or if someone have dyspraxia, so they tend to struggle balancing. Like, let's say, for example, a kid is struggling with balancing, like stacking bricks or even riding a bicycle. So those are some examples of the dyspraxia.
Who are these gifted and talented learners? Gifted learners are learners who have extraordinary intellectual ability and creativity, while talented learners are learners who exhibit exceptional abilities or potential in one or more areas. So gifted learners, they excel in both intellectual ability and creativity, demonstrating exceptional cognitive skills and imaginative thinking. Now, talented learners, on the other hand, they showcase exceptional abilities or potential in specific areas such as music, art, or sports. While giftedness is broader, encompassing intellectual and creative strength, talent, on the other hand, focuses on specific areas of expertise. Now, according to Betts and Nyhart, there are 6 types of gifted learners, each with unique characteristics and needs. The first one is the successful. These students achieve high grades, conform to school expectations, and are often teacher pleasers. So they can also get bored at school, and they learn the system fast enough so as to use the minimum efforts to get by. They are also dependent on the system, thus less creative and imaginative, and lack autonomy. So successful students, as described, they excel academically, meeting school's expectations and pleasing teachers. However, their success often stems from mastering the system rather than genuine passion for learning. So this situation can lead to boredom and dependence on the system, hindering creativity, imagination, and autonomy. So that is the successful type of gifted student.
According to Betts and Nyhart model of 1988, the challenging gifted learners are also known as the rebel, meaning they are rebellious kind of learners. They are highly creative and independent learners. These learners often question authority. They are also nonconformists, meaning they resist rules. They do not follow rules, regulations, instructions. They only follow themselves on what they want to wear, what they want to talk, and etc. So their rebellious behavior can be seen as disruptive in the classroom, and they are at risk of underachievement or dropping out due to frustration and disengagement. So these learners are emotionally intense, self-critical, and may struggle with peer relationships, as their advanced thinking often isolates them. To thrive, they need autonomy, intellectual challenges, emotional support, and opportunities to lead, with teachers providing flexible learning environments and positive reinforcements.
Now, another type under the 6 types of gifted learners by Betts and Nyhart is the underground type. So these students may hide their abilities to fit in with their peers, often during adolescence, and these are generally females, often insecure and anxious due to rising belonging needs, also changing needs, conflict with parents and teachers' expectations, and lastly, these type of students benefit greatly from being accepted as they are at the time. For example, in a classroom setting, Maria is a bright student who excels in her studies, but she often hides her abilities to fit in with her peers. So she is generally quiet during class discussions and avoids drawing attention to herself. So based from that scenario, or that classroom setting, these are some of the behavior and characteristic of Maria. She have hiding ability. So Maria deliberately underperforms on assignments and tests to avoid standing out. She doesn't want her friends to see her as a different or too smart. And also insecurity and anxiety. Why? Because as a female adolescent, Maria feels insecure and anxious about fitting in. So she is highly sensitive to social dynamics and fears being ostracized, and also conflicting needs. Why? Because Maria's parents and teachers expect her to continue excelling academically, but her need to belong and be accepted by her peers creates a conflict. So she feels torn between meeting these expectations and maintaining her social connections. And lastly would be the acceptance. Why? Because Maria again, this type of students greatly benefit when they are accepted as they are at that certain period of time. So Maria benefits greatly when her teachers and parents accept her as she is at the moment, understanding her need for social belonging and providing a supportive environment helps her feel more secure and less pressured.
The dropouts, gifted learners who become frustrated with the school system and may disengage or drop out entirely, so express themselves by being depressed or withdrawn and responding defensively. So they are identified very late and have very low self-esteem. So when we say dropouts, are students who leave school before completing their education. Sometimes really smart kids called gifted learners so might get frustrated with school because it feels too easy or boring. So for example, a kid named Sarah who loves to read and learn new things. She's really good at physics and chemistry, but her school doesn't offer advanced classes in those subjects. So Sarah gets bored in class and feels like she's wasting her time. She starts missing school and eventually she drops out entirely. So that would be all about the dropouts.
The next types of gifted learners is the double level. These students are both gifted and having a learning disability, requiring specialized support, do not show behaviors of giftedness that can be identified in school, show signs of stress, frustrations, rejections, helplessness, or isolation. Also often impatient and critical with low self-esteem. So double-labeled, these are the students are gifted learners whose performance is impaired or high potential is masked by one or specific learning disability, disorder, or condition. For example, students A who are identified as having an emotional behavior problem, while students B may excel in intellect or creativity.
So the autonomous. So it is self-directed and independent learners pursue their interests passionately, often achieve personal goals without much external guidance, do not work for the system but rather make the system work for them. And lastly, the autonomous is able to express their feelings, goals and needs freely and appropriately. So the autonomous. So this is actually like the student is independently learning in their own. Like they ensure that they will remain challenged and continues to grow academically and personally. So as a teacher, I will be able to support the students in designing independent study projects where they can explore subjects. And also, I will be able to provide students with guidance and resources as needed.
In the tapestry of education, we strive to create a learning environment that caters to the unique needs of every student. This requires recognizing and addressing the diverse learning styles, abilities, and potential that exist within our classrooms. This time, we will explore strategies for effectively supporting learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talent. By understanding the specific challenges and opportunities presented by these diverse student populations, we can foster inclusive and enriching learning experiences that empower all students to reach their full potential. So we'll start with strategies for learners with disabilities, which will be tackled by the next speakers.
So the first strategy for addressing learning disabilities is universal design for learning. So universal design for learning is a framework creating for inclusive learning environments for all students which they benefit, including those with disabilities. It focuses on providing multiple ways for students to access information, and also this approach, universal design for learning, aims to create a more suitable learning experience for all students by considering their diverse needs and learning styles.
Next, we have use chunking techniques. So it is a memorization technique that involves breaking down large chunks of information into bite-sized pieces. So its purpose is to help individuals with NVLD process information more easily by reducing cognitive overload. So for example, instead of trying to memorize a whole paragraph at once, it's easier to break it down into sentences or key phrases.
Another strategies we are about to learn today is the multisensory learning. So this is very important because you are going to use all of your senses. So multisensory learning engage multiple senses to enhance learning, particularly for students with learning disabilities. Okay, let's say for example, if you are learning about numbers, you can integrate music with them, like singing number song. So that is an example of multisensory learning because it involves more than one senses. So you can dance while counting numbers while singing into it. So that is an example of multisensory learning.
An empathy and respect-based strategy for learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents involves creating an inclusive environment that values individual differences and provides support tailored to each student's needs. Empathy is shown by recognizing the unique challenges learners to face, offering appropriate accommodations, and ensuring emotional support. Respect is demonstrated by honoring diverse learning styles and creating differentiated instructions. An inclusive classroom culture promotes peer collaboration and ensures all students feel valued and involved. Open communication and empowering learners to advocate for themselves are key to fostering a supportive educational experience for all.
And lastly, we have the frequent assessment. Frequent assessment is one of the strategies in addressing the needs of learners with disabilities. So this means that frequent assessments involve regularly evaluating students' progress and understanding through various methods such as quizzes, observations, and informal checks. So this approach helps in, first, identifying needs. So by frequently assessing students, teachers can quickly identify areas where learners with disabilities may be struggling and need additional support. Also, monitoring progress. Regular assessments allow teachers to track the progress of students over time, ensuring that they are making steady improvements and adjusting instruction as needed. Also, we have providing feedback. So, continuous assessment provides timely feedback to students, helping them understand their strengths and areas for improvement, which can boost their confidence and motivation. And lastly, we have the tailoring instruction. So, with frequent assessment data, teachers can tailor their instruction to meet the individual needs of each student, ensuring that all learners receive the appropriate level of challenge and support.
The next introduction. Gifted and talented learners possess exceptional abilities and potential that require tailored approaches to maximize their growth. Now this time, we will explore strategies for nurturing their unique strengths, fostering their creativity, and ensuring they are challenged and engaged in meaningful ways.
Extracurricular program. Participation in academic clubs and competitions caters to advanced abilities. So think about extracurricular programs as fun activities that happen outside of regular school classes. So for smart kids, these programs are like special clubs and competitions where they can use their talents and learn even more. So for example, a kid who loves science might join a science club where they can experiment, build things, and learn about new discoveries. Or a kid who's good at writing might participate in a writing competition where they can show off their skills and get feedback from experts. So these programs are a great way for gifted learners to challenge themselves, learn new things, and meet other kids who share their interests. So that would be all about the extracurricular program.
Next, we have counseling services. We're already familiar with this one, so this provide access to school counselors trained in supporting the emotional needs of gifted learners. So its purpose is to offer counseling services to support students with NVLD. So specialized counselors can help address emotional and social challenges, ensuring that students feel understood and supported, especially if they are also gifted learners.
Encouraging exploration. So, allow students to delve into topics that pique their interest, providing opportunities for independent research. So, instead of discussing a lecture every day or doing a lecture every day, you can organize field trips to pique their interest, especially for those students who are fascinated by animals. Another is doing an experiment. So, mostly children are very curious, so they like to do a hands-on activity and be able to see or touch the things that they are about to learn.
So one of the strategies for addressing gifted and talented learners is connect learning to real-world applications. So connect learning to real-world applications shows students how concepts relate to real-world issues, sparking their curiosity and making learning more relevant and meaningful. So connecting classroom concepts to real-world applications can enhance learning for gifted and talented learners by making the material more relatable and engaging. So by demonstrating how academic concepts are relevant to real-life situations, students can develop a deeper understanding and appreciation for the subject matter.
A plan-tiered learning by strategy for gifted and talented learners provide tasks of varying complexity to challenge and engage them at their advanced level. It includes open-ended projects, acceleration, enrichment, and flexible assessment options that respect their strengths and interests. The strategy also offers leadership opportunities, allowing gifted learners to guide peers and develop social skills. Overall, it ensures they stay motivated and intellectually stimulated by matching their potential with appropriately challenging tasks.
Alright, so thank you for your attention. I hope you've learned something from our recorded discussion. Now, question. Okay, so I will give you a scenario. So, say you are teaching a 5th grade science class about the water cycle. Now, you have a diverse group of learners, including students with learning disabilities, gifted students, and students with a range of learning styles. Now, for your question, what do you think among the given strategies for an inclusive classroom? What do you think should be used in this classroom situation? Okay, anybody has an answer? Yes, Aya?
Okay, so my idea about this scenario is fifth graders science class about the water cycles and have a diverse group of learners, including students with learning disabilities, gifted students, and students with a range of learning styles. I think the best strategies using this scenario is the multi-sensory learning. So the teacher can use all the senses. The teacher can also show them a video of the water cycle. And the next one is the connect learning to the real world application. So talk to them how the water cycle affects life. And for the last strategy is universal design for learning. So make sure that everyone learn with no matter their learning style. So you can use videos and hands-on activities. So that will be all. Thank you.
Right, very good observation, Aya. So in every classroom situation, we need to apply the appropriate strategies for our classroom to be organized regardless of the differences of your learners. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for attending our workshop. Now, before we part ways, so I want to close this with Energizer. So we didn't start with an Energizer, we are going to close with an Energizer. So may I request everyone to come to the front. Come to the front because we are going to dance to celebrate that we finished our workshop for today's session, okay? Alright, future educators, let's dance our heart